Blaine Fowler, who was on BYU Sports Station. You were just at the indoor practice.
I came up and I'm going back down as soon as we're done.
Okay, what did you think of the scene? The Saints scout said, "This is the best setup I've seen."
So professionally done. So they hand you, I don't know, like on the radio, you guys can't see this, but they hand you this if you're watching on TV.
Oh, no.
They hand you this program. It's got all the players in it and a place to keep track of everything that they do. They've got it set up in stations. It's very, very professionally done.
Yeah.
And it's all in the indoor practice facility.
I like something, too, that they actually give the players, like, swag and gear.
Oh, yeah.
In order to do it. With us, I mean, even though it was only like 3 or 4 of us at the time, we were wearing, like, pink and yellow and all over the, we were all over the place.
6 years ago.
No,
Wild.
it definitely, the scouts are coming in, and it has a big-time feel to it, which is cool. You want to do that. And then, some of the team had meetings and things, but they're starting to stream over and root on their former teammates. And so, I mean, it's incentive for those guys. I got to work. Man, how did that guy get looking like that?
Right.
I mean, some of these guys look impressive. Andrew Idy, I'm like, what?
Right.
He looks amazing. And he came out, and all he did was knock off 33 on the bench press. Now, keep in mind, Isaac Asiata from Utah did the most in the NFL Combine at 35. Andrew just pumped out 33.
Impressive.
On the bench. That's we always talk about elite.
Yeah.
That's legit elite.
Well, someone
bench.
on this show does.
Yeah.
So that's it's
on me.
I'm gonna, and I don't talk about that very much, but 33 on the bench is elite.
For sure.
That's big time.
I
And
can
then,
actually agree with that.
Then turn around and do 33 on the bench and vert 30.
Yeah.
Which is what ID did.
This is an O-lineman we're talking
Yeah.
about.
And so I think he's turning a lot of heads just in the first 2 events that I watched down there, which was really impressive. And so, and you guys mentioned it, and some of our viewers mentioned Kainakua. I think a lot of people look at Kainakua and go, well, he's very instinctive. Has a ball hawk, but is he explosive enough to play in the NFL? Does he have the speed and the explosion? So for him to step up there in vertical 39 inches, I think people went, oh, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe there is some athleticism to this great ball hawking safety. And so I'm really interested to see how his 40 goes. And then even more importantly, that 3-cone and the 20-yard shuttle. If he can pop off some great times in those, he may be able to help himself more than anybody else in this year's NFL draft or a free agency.
So what would be your concern with Kai if you were an NFL scout, right? And you see the explosion, 40 time, all that good stuff. What other concerns would you have about inviting him to a camp?
Well, looking at him today, the concerns I had, I don't have right now. And the reason is he was a little heavy. He played probably a little too heavy last season. His body composition, if I'm an NFL guy, I'm looking and going, man, he doesn't look like an NFL safety. He doesn't look lean enough. But he looks lean today. Yeah. And so I think to me, you're going, well, he's a little thick. He's a great ball hawk. I can't tell on film if he's got great explosion and speed. But if he's a little thinner, I don't know if he's thinner or not. I don't know if he weighs any less, but his body composition looks way better today. So he's been working hard. So now they're going to go, wait a minute, this doesn't look like the guy. He looks lean. Yeah. And now if he pops off some great times, they're going to go, okay, what I saw on film, my concern on film is gone because at this amount of lean, if he's just focusing on football and that's it and not having to go to school and eat in the cafeteria and all this stuff and do all his homework, if he can look like this, then perhaps he can be an NFL football player. So he may be able to do the most good of anybody, although I think Andrew Idy, big guys always have a chance because they come out of nowhere. You don't have to be a superstar All-American lineman to make it in the NFL. If you're a big guy with good hands and feet that's powerful, they don't care where you went to school. They'll go, hey, let's get this guy.
Yeah, there's like D3 kids, linemen that come and actually like get drafted.
And go to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
And half the league's undrafted.
Yeah. And so I think Idy can do a lot of good in this one. Algie Brown's another guy that nobody really talks about, but BYU's history of fullbacks in the NFL, big guys that can come out, and he looks lean. I mean, he's 240 pounds and looks lean. Yeah. And so it'll be interesting to see how his thing goes. And here's one that nobody thinks about. So the Juergens twins, Mitch and Garrett. Garrett steps up and benches 21 times.
That is crazy.
At his size, first of all, for his position at wide receiver, that's really, really good. Yep. And then at his size, you just have to go, what in the world? Yeah. And I expect both of the Juergens twins. So I only saw Mitch's vertical jump. He went 37. Garrett hadn't gone yet before I came up. Wow. So he vertical 37. they're the kind of guys that could go run a 4 flat
Yeah.
in the 20-yard shuttle, which would be really, really good. So they may, there may be some teams that'll go, wow, let's bring them into camp
bring 'em in, yeah.
because these guys could be utility guys. They can return punts. They can do a lot of things. They could go cover punts. And a lot of teams are going with that slot receiver type, like Edelman. That's kind of, there's some teams that do that. So with the right team, if they have eye-popping numbers, they maybe get a chance to get into a camp because of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Blaine Fowler's on BYU Sports Nation. We'll talk Pro Day. We'll talk Eric Mika here in a sec. Pro Day. Taysom Hill.
Taysom.
Got a beard now. He's always looked shredded. Does he look even more shredded today?
He looks crazy in shape, and he looked irritated when he was doing the vert because he didn't do the bench because he's waiting for that tricep to heal up.
Yes.
But I don't think anybody questions whether Taysom's strong. Taysom's the kind of guy that would step up and do in the mid-20s
Right.
on the bench for a quarterback. Come on.
Right.
But he was getting ready for the vert, and they kept making him stand back. No, stretch your hand up, stretch your hand up, stretch your hand up. And he was getting really irritated, like you weren't doing this with anybody else.
Yeah.
And then his first jump, he went up, and everybody in the whole place went, whoa! And they said, no, that doesn't count. You shuffled your feet.
What?
So they made him do it again.
Boo.
So what did he do? All he did was jump up and get 38.5 on the second jump.
Hi.
After he was completely irritated.
They could use him on the volleyball
and thrown
team
off
if
his game, he was
free.
38.5. So I expect him to run a good 40. I mean, he looks.
What do you expect in the 40 from him?
Here's the thing. If he gets, I think Taysom will run in the 4.5s.
Low
Yeah.
4 or 5s?
Yeah, and I don't know how he's been, how his training's gone because I haven't heard reports from that, but I would not be surprised if he ran the low 4.5s, which would be phenomenal.
I think like clock time, right? Because we all
hand
know
time,
hand time, like with the coaches.
Spencer Linton thought he got a sub 5
Yeah. Did we
hand time.
Is it
Yeah.
different?
Then if we electronically time
Digitally,
Spencer,
we're like, oh, it's
Yeah.
5'1".
no, it's 7 something.
5'3".
Because we didn't even start it until he was 20 meters out. We were
We
worried.
didn't tell him that until right now, Blaine.
So, hey, one other guy I should mention, because he stepped up right before I left, is Sai Tautu.
Yeah.
So he looks lean. He looks mean and nasty is what he looks like. And he stepped up to the vert and verted 38.5. So at his size, that's crazy good. So we'll see how he goes in the 42. But Taysom is an interesting story because he's going to throw. But remember, he's coming off of a triceps injury, which is going to take some time. But he's not, his upper body's not cut up like his arms aren't as big as we've seen him because he's coming back from that injury. But the rest of him is crazy in shape, and a 38.5 vertical jump, guys.
Do you think?
That's awesome.
Do you
That's
think that he will get an invite to a camp for quarterback, or do you think he'll get an invite, for another position, or just even at all? Right.
I think he's too athletic to not
Right,
get into a camp.
That's what I said.
And I think somebody will bring him in, and maybe somebody will say to him, will you be open-minded with us, about this? But I just think he's too athletic, you guys know, you've been around him the last 4 years. He's a freak of nature.
You guys never had a player like him.
Yeah, he is a complete freak. And so I think when the NFL looks at him, they just go, we got to bring him in and see what he can do. So and then it's up to him. All you need is a door open. All Danny Sorensen needed was a door open. Mm-hmm. His numbers in the combine, especially on his quickness, his agility things, his 20-yard shuttle and his 3-cone drill were really, really good. And so that got him into camp. He went on and off the practice squad, but once they put him on the field, he made plays. All you can ask is to get an opportunity. That door is open. You get in front of people to watch you every day, and then you show them what you can do. And most of these guys down there, that's all they're asking for. We don't, BYU doesn't have a bunch of draft picks this year. So most of those guys are down there, and it doesn't matter. We were talking to our son-in-law the other day, and his coach over at Stanford, Dwayne Aquina, has coached like 30-some NFL draft pick defensive backs. And he told Dallas, he said, do great in Pro Day today, because all 30-something teams don't need to like you. Just one does.
Yeah.
Yep,
Just one needs to go, you know what?
That was my dating life.
That's exactly, that's what Jerem's
They
focused
need
on.
every girl to like
Just
you.
one.
One.
Every girl doesn't have to like you. Just one
right.
crazy half-blind girl.
And then,
Keep your head up, son.
and then I had none, but then my wife was nice to me.
So everybody that's down there today, with the exception of Jamal, and Harvey, Harvey and Jamal, they proved themselves, I think. The rest of these guys are just hoping that 1 or 2 or 3 guys go, that guy I think can help us, let's bring him into camp. And then once you get that door open, then you go, you take charge and you
Yeah,
show
take
that you can
advantage.
play.
Right.
And all you're looking for is an opportunity.
Yep.
Well, Blaine, great stuff. We appreciate the time. We'll get your opinion on Eric Mika later.
Yep.
We got a loaded show
Yes.
coming up. No time. We appreciate the time. Good luck going back down to the indoor practice.